What's going on, guys? Chuck here, along with a very special guest,
Kara.
Kara. And we are here to discuss a film that's taken over pop culture at the moment. Of course, we're talking about none other than 2024's
Wicked.
Wicked. Of course, this is the film adaptation based off the musical, which is based off a series of books, which I was not even aware there was a book series until I started watching this. Now, I have not seen the stage play. I always wanted to. And when this came out, or heard it was coming out, I was really excited to see this because I love musicals. So I was thrilled to, when this came out, get a chance to check it out. This one was really excited about too, but I'm not even sure what her exposure was. How did you find out about Wicked?
So how I found out about Wicked is so when I go on YouTube and there's ads, so some of the ads will pop out saying about the track of when Wicked's coming out, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm immediately gonna fall in love with this when I first see the movie.
Okay.
And I was just very excited when I finally got to see it.
And the thing is, she actually, I think, saw more of it on YouTube. She saw a lot because it's this thing that happened when we watched Megan. She saw most of it on YouTube before we actually saw the movie proper. Because you saw all the musical songs, and of course she'll act like she's not, but she's a complete diva. And she likes to do a lot of singing and dancing, so music grabbed onto her. Which I imagine, from what I can tell, most girls her age are, clamoring and really clicking with Wicked. And I can see why, quite frankly. We watched it when it came on Amazon Prime. We rented it and checked it out, and I was expecting it to be good. I was looking for, because I love musicals. I'm not too hard to please with musicals, but I was blown away by how good it really was. I mean, it deserves the reputation it's getting, or it has. It is just a phenomenal, fun movie. The characters are great. The acting is wonderful. The songs are all bangers, as the kids would say. Just so much of it it's so engaging. The thing is, it's almost 3 hours long, but it doesn't feel like it. It flies by. It really does. And again, for someone with the attention span of Kara, who just zones out quickly, to sit there and be engaged in an almost 3 hour movie and totally, completely engaged is impressive. And she was. What's your favorite part about the movie? And don't give anything away, because there's probably people out there who have not seen Wicked. I should also mention too, before I get in that when I first heard this coming out, I assumed it was the entire musical, because most time movie adaptations of musicals, they're going to give you the whole thing. Which, in that case, a lot of times it condenses things, changes stuff around, takes songs out. In this case, what they didn't tell you, or I guess it was announced sometime prior, but people forgot about that. This is actually Wicked Part 1, and which contains only the first act of the stage play. So, this ends at the end of what Act 1 would be, which was with Defying Gravity, which she loves. So, that's just, so that's a lot, which is crazy, because the first act is the movie's 3.5 hours long, or 3 hours long. I'm sure the stage play isn't that long, but they, got to, add stuff in and stretch it out more. But I don't feel any of it needs to be cut. It's really good, and it fits perfect, and it really ends on a great high note. So I'm looking forward to Wicked Part 2. Anyways, so what is it you like about Wicked?
Just everything about it. That's all I can say.
Just everything. Nothing in particular?
Just everything about it. I like the how they edit it and stuff, and how Aragorn comes flying out of absolutely nowhere, and Cynthia Erivo just being very good.
Okay, I appreciate you're trying to get technical, but we don't have to worry about what's your favorite character? Put it that way.
My least?
Who's your favorite character?
Elphaba.
Okay. Yeah, she's good, and that's oh god, I'm gonna get a minute here. Cynthia Erivo, who is fantastic in the role, which I found fascinating, because what should be appreciated about what her and Ariana Grande are doing, more on Ariana Grande in a minute, is that they are singing live on stage as they're filming. This isn't like they're just lip syncing or putting in post production. To their credit, those two they are singing live. And for Cynthia Erivo, not only that, but first of all, Defying Gravity is like the huge major. Again, it's the Act One closer. It's a huge stage piece, and you watch behind the scenes on this. She is actually in a rig, where she's got her flying around. She's spinning, doing all this stunt work while acting and singing. She is singing while in this rig and singing live on the stage with the filming, which is freaking amazing that you could to be able to do that. And like I said, her and Ariana Grande singing their songs live at the stage, and that's what they use in the film. Because if you get the soundtrack, which we had a soundtrack because we listen to it constantly, it is different from what the songs are in the movie. Not completely, but you can hear different variations from what they're singing live. But it's a very impressive. Of course, I'm gonna ask this question, but the answer to it. What's your favorite song?
Defying Gravity.
Defying Gravity. It is. It really is. It's a powerful, powerful song. What's great about it is Cynthia Erivo. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that right. I pronounced that right?
Cynthia Erivo.
Okay. Her singing is fantastic all the way through. But what's great about Defying Gravity is that it's a part of her arc. It's the ending of at least the first act of her arc, and she is kind of controlling her vocals throughout the movie, and she's not quite letting it. But once she gets to Defying Gravity, she's letting it all go, and it's out there, and she's just blowing you away with it. And it's overpowering. I mean, it is amazing performance, and it's even more fun to sit there with her and listen to her sing it and belt it out, and get better each time. Which to me is just fun. I love watching it with her because she gets to sing. And what's cool about this Blu-ray is it has a sing-along version, so all the words are there. And we watched it last night, and she had a good fun time with it. Now for me, when I watched it the first time, what immediately caught my attention and blew me away was Ariana Grande. I don't know what I was expecting from Ariana Grande, because I'm not a big Ariana Grande fan. I don't know a lot of her music. Most I know from her is what I see her on Saturday Night Live, and she's very funny when she's on Saturday Night Live. But my gosh, she is so good as Glinda. And I could not believe her comedic timing was fantastic. She's a force in herself. I mean, the first time I watched her, I said she deserves an Oscar nomination, and she got one. Both of them did, rightfully so. But I mean, she just put so much into that part. It's just it's mind blowing. And to her credit, she had said she saw the original production when she was 10 years old. And from that point, she always wanted. She really lobbied and chased after this role, and she really took it to heart, and it shows. I mean, she is fantastic. And her vocal range is like a totally different kind of range, which she said she had to train herself differently from like her pop music to what she has to do, the more operatic style singing she has to do for Glinda. And it's amazing. What do you think of Ariana Grande? You're the big Ariana Grande person.
Just want to say how she's singing in that corset. I bet it was really hard to breathe.
I'm sure. It was very, very tight.
And just like in the first part of No One Mourns the Wicked.
It's the opening song.
Mm-hmm.
No One Mourns the Wicked. And
she just sings very high. I'm literally closing my ears so my eardrums don't even fall out.
Because it's very, very high. She's if anyone's familiar with Krista Chenoweth, who originated the role on Broadway, she's got a very operatic high pitch, and that's Ariana Grande is doing this in the opening, and it's amazing at just the range that she gets. And I think it's something Krista Chenoweth had mentioned before, is that with the character Glinda, the higher she sings, the less sincere the character is. Which, if you follow along and you know what's coming, it makes perfect sense. But yeah, it's great. But you've also got other performers. You've got Jeff Goldblum as the wizard, Michelle Yeoh as Mr. Was it Warble? I think it's her name. The like master sorceress or whatever of the school shiz,
yeah.
which is a weird name. Okay, let me back up. For those of you who aren't familiar with the whole story of or Wicked, it's basically, as they say, the how did the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz become the Wicked Witch of the West? And this is kind of like the untold story. Everyone's got an origin story. This is kind of what they're doing here. So you learn about it's the meeting of Elphaba, who would be the Wicked Witch, and Glinda, and their time in school at Shiz University, I guess, and what happens that makes Elphaba the Wicked Witch of the West. Nice. I don't want to get too much into it because there's spoilers to here and there, even though it ends on a cliffhanger. But it's, I don't know, it's weird. It's a story you didn't think you really needed because The Wizard of Oz is great as it on its own. And honestly, I don't really see this as a true prequel to that Wizard of Oz. And that's because I know what happens in part 2 of Wicked. I don't think it quite ties, but I look at it as the Wicked alternate Wizard of Oz universe, which is still fun. But you've also who else? Yeah, I can't remember his name, but the one who plays Fiero, I can't remember his name. I'll put it right here. But he is really good as your typical kind of like almost like a Disney prince the way he acts. And he has like one of my favorite songs and set pieces, which is the Dancing Through Life. I love that song, and it's probably my favorite set piece because the choreography of that is awesome. Because there's this whole thing in the library, but they have like this tornado wheel, they call it, where the books are it's constantly spinning, but they're dancing through it as they're singing. And he was singing live, on the stage as well, and it's fantastic to watch. Just the work they had to do to put in to get that done is great. Which we also talk about the sets, which is another great thing about this. There's a lot of practical effects in this movie, not a whole lot of CGI. I mean, there is CGI obviously, but they took the time to build. They built Oz. But they built the Emerald City. They built Munchkin Land, and they built Shiz. So 3 giant sets, physical sets they built. The big wizard head that you see,
Yeah, that looks very creepy.
That is actually a real thing. That wasn't CGI. They actually built that, and it's really creepy. Even the actor said, they talked to it, it's really creepy. But it's just great that they put that much detail in it. I'm a little technical here, so I'm sorry. A lot of people complained that the color on this is not bright and vibrant like the original Wizard of Oz Technicolor, because it should be, bright. And the directors said he didn't want to do that. He wanted to base this in the realistic setting, not a dream setting like Wizard of Oz is. Which again, kind of why I also separate, not quite a prequel to that Wizard of Oz, but to a different Wizard of Oz. To me, I think it's fine. I mean, I think that's nitpicky because this movie looks beautiful, especially in the 4K. With the HDR, it is fantastic. It pops up. This is a 4K. This is very high end. She doesn't know that, but the color looks really good. It really pops. It shines. It is what it should be. The greens are greens. The pinks are pinks, and everything in between is fantastic. So I don't think people should be getting overly concerned about it's just not super duper bright Technicolor, and it doesn't need to be. I think it works just fine the way it is. What's some of your favorite stuff about the movie? I'm talking too much. I should let her talk.
There's like the choreography and is that how you say
Choreography, yeah.
Choreography.
Close enough. The dancing.
Yeah, the choreography and popular. I'm just wondering how she still sings that high in that song. I'm still wondering how long it took to finish that part in Wicked, and I'm still wondering does her back still hurt?
For those who don't know, okay, as much as Defying Gravity is Elphaba's signature song, at least through the first act of Wicked, Popular is Glinda's signature song. And then this was the scene where I watched and I said, okay, that's it. You know, Ariana Grande, she's got me. That's where I say she deserves the Oscar because she just, it's a fun set piece. It's definitely the set piece. Even if you go on YouTube, you watch videos of the stage play, all the actresses who perform as Glinda in this song, and it's a comedy bit. It's sweet, and the character just does all these crazy things, and and I said Ariana Grande just nails it. My favorite part in this whole scene, dance scene, is when she's like laying on the floor and after she's doing the Popular, where she's kind of just doing this swimming thing around Alphabet, doing la la's. It's hilarious, and and then her trying to change her coat into a gown with doing the whole thing with the wand, all this improvised stuff. It's really good. Ariana Grande just nails it. She's so good at the comedy, and a lot of her was silly gestures with the whole foot thing in this song. They focus on the way she just does things with her foot, and she jumps on the chandelier and is kicking around with her legs kicked out. It's hilarious. And then the last dance number, they had mentioned, I watched on the behind the scenes, they talked about, they put together this, so they didn't want to do some regular choreography, they wanted something more like Glinda, so they put together this thing like in a day before they had to film it, where it's one take where she's doing that last dance at the end, where she's doing the la la's, dancing to the hall, and she kicks her leg up really high because they saw that, so we got to use that because she kicked her leg up super high. If I did that, I'd break every bone in my back.
I can do it.
Almost, yeah. That's what gymnastics are for. But it's just so good. I mean, and then all the stuff she has to do in this song to interact with the props and the different pop-up. It's I said it's her signature piece of the film. Another good part, one I love a lot, is when they're at the Ozdust. Kind of when it's the turning point for. This isn't really a spoiler, but it's where Glinda and Alphaba kind of
like connect to each other.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful scene. It's quiet. The song is simple, but it's very touching. Every time I watch it, I break down in tears. I cry every time. Yes, I cry every time.
I don't see you cry.
I know, because I do it. I hide it very, very carefully. But no, I get teary-eyed. It touches me emotionally. It's so good. But that's just a credit to the acting, the directing, the music. If Chris was here, he'd tell you the music is really telling a story there. So it's just a wonderful piece. Like I said, this soundtrack is awesome. It's every song to me is just wonderful. Like I said, I'm partial to Popular and Dancing Through Life mostly, but they're all so good. This is just a wonderful, fun movie. Again, it's great to see a musical do so well and be so popular and connect with a younger audience. Obviously, it's based on it's definitely kind of it's a more girl-based thing because you're dealing with two very strong female leads, which is good and it's great. But I mean, there's no reason why us guys can't enjoy it too, because I love the hell out of it. I said that.
I heard nothing, don't worry.
Oh, you're fine. So let's talk about this great 4K Blu-ray. So here is, of course, this is the theatrical version. There's Kara. And a sing-along version as well. Here's your back, and it's this is actually a 4K and a Blu-ray, so you have both versions. Here's all your back with your special features. This is from Universal, so not get anything too fancy. Hide that digital code. We don't want to give that away. But
no.
your Blu-ray and your 4K. And as far as special features go, you really just have like a 40 or 50 minute, let me get that, behind the scenes or making it, which is really good. What else was on here? You have commentary with the director and also commentary with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Rivos. Revo. I'm an old man. It's hard to remember things. And there's a couple other, behind the scenes, building the sets and the dancing and sets. So about an hour of bonus features, but they're all very entertaining. But the movie looks fantastic. It's got a great sound. My God, it blasts. The music, the sound effects, the visuals, everything is good. So, I wanted to get a chance to see this, or take her to see this in IMAX, but we didn't get a chance to. Maybe for Wicked, for Good, I think that's what the second one's going to be called. It comes out in November, so we're keeping an eye out for that. But for the time being, this is fantastic. I highly recommend checking this out. Even if you don't like musicals, and I've seen a lot of people on YouTube doing reviews of this film who don't like musicals, but at the end they're in tears and they say this was so good. So this goes beyond that. I really think there's a great story in here. There's a great character development, good connection. It's definitely worth checking out. Any other things you want to say? Your final thoughts, or
if you really want to see me do the battle cry at the end, I'll do it.
You're such a ham. It's my girl. So that's it. Nothing else. You just want to show yourself like that, and show off.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I can do it right now.
Can you do it right now?
If you can just because I might break your ears.
Oh, okay. Let me go over here to your center stage then. Go right ahead. Be my guest. For the first time, we're gonna put on camera Kara doing the alpha battle cry. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. I've done that, but I'd need oxygen. I'd pass out. I can do Dance of Your Life though. Okay, so that is it for me and the showstopper here. If you enjoyed this, click thumbs up, share, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Let us know if you've seen Wicked, what your thoughts on it. If you've seen the stage play, because I'd love to see it. I think it's coming here this year, but these tickets are outrageous. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll be able to afford it. We may have to just stick with watching it on YouTube, or just say hi. We'll always take hi. So until next time, this is Chuck in.
Kara. And maybe Chris right here.
The imaginary Chris. God. And we'll see you on the other side. Jeez. I forgot my lines because of you.